The 8 rarest and weirdest sleeper cars of the 70s. The 1970s had plenty of muscle cars that grabbed attention with wild stripes, big wings, and loud exhausts. But not every fast car looked the part. Some of the quickest machines on the street were 1970s sleeper cars, plain-looking rides hiding serious power under the hood. While legends like the HEMI CUDA and Boss 429 stole the show, these unknown sleeper cars quietly embarrassed the competition at stoplights. They looked like ordinary family cars, but with the right engine, they could outrun just about anything. Some were stripped-down muscle cars with no flashy extras, while others were full-blown factory hot rods disguised as daily drivers. These classic sleeper cars might not have been famous, but they were just as fast, and sometimes even faster. Stick around as we uncover the 8 rarest and weirdest sleeper cars of the 70s. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Muscle Car Masters for more underrated classics. The 1970 Mercury Cyclone spoiler. The first car we're diving into today is the 1970 Mercury Cyclone spoiler, a muscle car that truly deserved more attention but often got overlooked. With all the right ingredients, a powerful engine, striking design, and impressive performance, the Cyclone spoiler was a standout. However, for some reason, it didn't get the recognition it deserved while other cars took the spotlight. Let's take a closer look at why this car truly deserves more credit. Mercury's attempt to break away from its usual lineup of luxury Fairlanes and tame Cougars was a success with the Cyclone spoiler. At first glance, it resembled its Ford cousins, like the Torino Cobra, but Mercury gave it its own distinct personality. The body was longer and sleeker, featuring the signature Coke bottle shape that set it apart. This muscle car didn't need expensive upgrades right off the factory line. It was race-ready, equipped with a 429 cubic inch V8 with ram air that made 370 horsepower as standard. For those wanting more, the Super Cobra Jet package upped the power to 375 horsepower, adding high-performance internals, a more aggressive camshaft, and a 4-speed manual transmission. The spoiler came with functional performance features like a hood scoop to feed the V8, a chin spoiler, and a rear airfoil for stability at high speeds. While other cars relied on flashy decals and stripes, Mercury kept it simple with clean tape stripes and a range of bold colors. Step inside, and you'll find that Mercury took the interior to the next level, offering a well-designed instrument cluster aimed at the driver, including a tachometer, oil pressure gauge, and coolant temperature gauge. It was all about performance and control. Measuring almost 210 inches in length and weighing about 3,900 pounds, the Cyclone spoiler was a substantial machine. Despite being slightly larger, it handled beautifully, thanks to the competition handling package, which included heavy-duty springs, upgraded shocks, and front anti-roll bars. Power steering and front disc brakes were optional, with 14 by 7-inch steel wheels to give it a more aggressive stance. The car also featured rear gear ratios of either 391 or 430, which, combined with the Detroit locker differential, provided excellent traction and further enhanced the driving experience. 1971. AMC Matador 401. When discussing legendary muscle cars, the 1971 AMC Matador 401 with the Machine Go package hardly ever enters the conversation. And that's exactly what makes it intriguing. This car had everything a muscle enthusiast could dream of: power, distinctive styling, and impressive handling, but somehow remained hidden in the shadows. Perhaps AMC's underdog reputation or the fierce competition from Detroit's Big Three eclipsed its spotlight. Whatever the reason, this Matador was a genuine sleeper. Exceptionally quick, incredibly rare, and mysteriously forgotten. But AMC had a secret weapon: the AMC Matador 401 package. This wasn't a full-on performance car like the Rebel machine from the previous year, but it still packed some serious upgrades. You had a choice of two V8 engines, a 360 cubic inch engine or the top-tier 401 cubic inch V8, which packed even more punch. The bigger engine came with dual exhaust as standard, and it was optional for the smaller one. What set the AMC Matador 401 apart was its lack of flash. No wild decals, no Ram air scoop, just clean lines and solid performance under the hood. It had 15 by 7-inch slot-style wheels wrapped in Goodyear polyglass tires, plus a handling package with heavy-duty springs, shocks, and a rear sway bar. Power disc brakes were standard, and you could opt for a twin-grip differential for better traction. Rarity is another reason this car is so special. With only an estimated 55 to 57 built, it's one of the rarest muscle cars ever. AMC didn't keep production records, so many of these cars could still be out there, unnoticed. The 78 to 79 Dodge Magnum. The 78 to 79 Dodge Magnum is a fascinating chapter in American automotive history, often flying under the radar as one of the era's true sleeper cars. At first glance, its sleek, refined exterior might suggest a focus on luxury over performance, but beneath that polished surface lies a machine with serious muscle car credentials. Under the hood, the Magnum offered a range of potent V8 engines. Buyers could choose from a 5.2-liter 318 V8, a 5.9-liter 360 V8, or, for those craving even more power, a 6.6-liter 400 cubic inch V8. The 400 V8 was a one-year option on the Magnum, as it was dropped the following year when Chrysler ceased production of big block V8s in passenger cars at the end of 1978. In terms of production numbers, the Magnum had a brief but notable run. In its debut year of 1978, Dodge produced 47,827 units. However, by 1979, production dropped to 25,367 units, leading to the model's discontinuation that same year. The Magnum's relatively low production numbers and its blend of luxury and performance have cemented its status as a classic sleeper car. Today, it's a rare find that embodies a unique period in automotive history, appealing to collectors and enthusiasts who appreciate its understated muscle. The 1975 Chevrolet Nova 9C1. The Chevrolet Nova 9C1 is the next car on our list, and it's a real hidden gem in the world of police vehicles. This compact patrol car had everything law enforcement needed: solid performance, tough suspension, and exceptional handling. Yet, it never achieved the fame of the big full-size cruisers of its time. The Nova 9C1 could outhandle and outperform larger, more powerful patrol cars, but most people today have never even heard of it. Back in 1974, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department was looking for a more fuel-efficient police car due to the recent oil crisis. Their fleet of gas-guzzling sedans was costing a fortune, and they needed a smarter solution. That's when Motor Trend magazine editor and Police Reserve Deputy John Christie proposed the idea of a smaller, lighter car for law enforcement. Chevrolet took on the challenge and created a prototype police Nova, which quickly impressed the department. By 1975, the Nova 9C1 became an official police package. Unlike other Chevrolet police cars, which could be ordered with various engines and options, the Nova came one way: a four-door sedan with a 350 cubic inch V8 engine, a 3-speed automatic transmission, heavy-duty brakes, and a 308-to-1 rear axle ratio. It made 155 horsepower, but was known for its incredible handling, borrowing suspension parts from the Camaro Z28. This made it agile and easy to maneuver in tight city streets, perfect for police work. While it was overshadowed by larger cruisers like the AMC Matador and Dodge Coronet, departments that used it loved it. By 1978, Chevrolet ended production of the Nova 9C1, but it remains a true sleeper. Forgotten by many, but legendary to those who knew its potential. 1975, Buick Century GS 455. The 1975 Buick Century GS 455 is one of those cars that had all the right ingredients to become a legend but somehow got overlooked. With its big V8 engines, solid performance, and even a role as an Indianapolis 500 pace car, the Century quietly carried serious potential. While other muscle cars from the late 1960s and early 1970s are still talked about today, the Century never got the recognition it deserved. By 1975, the Century was Buick's mid-size car, available as a coupe, sedan, or station wagon. It started with a 231 cubic inch V6 engine, producing 110 horsepower, but the real gem was the 350 cubic inch V8 with a 4-barrel carburetor, making 145 horsepower. While that may not seem like much, thanks to Buick's focus on ride quality and handling, the Century felt quick and well planted on the road. What makes this car unique is that it had serious performance potential, but Buick never marketed it as a high-performance vehicle. The Grand Sport package, once a true muscle car trim, had been reduced to just an appearance and suspension package. Under the hood, the 455 cubic inch V8 was gone, leaving the V6 or 350 V8 as the available engines. One standout version of the Century was the 1975 Indianapolis 500 pace car. The real pace car came with a 455 V8, dual exhaust, and a heavy-duty suspension. While the public replicas came with the 350 V8, they still carried the same styling with white paint, red and blue decals, and T-top roof panels. 1976, Plymouth Volare Roadrunner 360. By the mid-70s, muscle cars were facing tough times. With gas prices soaring, insurance companies cracking down, and new government regulations choking horsepower, automakers had to adapt. Chrysler's solution? The 1976 Plymouth Volare Roadrunner 360. A car with the heart of a muscle car, but the looks of an everyday cruiser. The biggest reason this car remains under the radar? It wasn't its own model anymore. The Roadrunner name, once iconic, was now just an option package on the new Volare, making it blend in with ordinary cars. It looked almost identical to the base model, failing to stand out like the classic muscle machines of the past. But looks can be deceiving. Take Barry Butler's Roadrunner as proof. Underneath the unassuming design was serious hidden power. The factory version didn't get much attention, but Barry and his brother turned the engine into a monster. They took a small block Chrysler V8, increased it to 408 cubic inches, and loaded it with performance parts. A 4-inch crankshaft, high-lift camshaft, ported heads, a big carburetor, and a nitrous kit. The result? A car that looked like an average Volare, but could run the quarter mile in 12.6 seconds at 110 miles per hour. Talk about a sleeper! The suspension and chassis helped keep it planted, too. With factory torsion bars, heavy-duty leaf springs, and KYB shocks, it handled better than people assumed. The 8 3/4-inch rear axle with 391 gears gave it a perfect balance of acceleration and drivability. The 1977 to 1979 Ford LTD II. Some cars demand attention, while others quietly fade into the background. The 1977 to 1979 Ford LTD II falls into that second category. At first glance, it looked like just another big, cushy cruiser, something your neighbor's dad would drive. But under all that chrome and sheet metal was something unexpected. The heart of a muscle car. So why does nobody talk about the LTD II today? Because it was caught between two worlds. Ford axed the Torino, Gran Torino, and Elite, replacing them with this. But while people expected a full-size luxury car, the LTD II still rode on an updated Torino chassis, a platform made for performance. That put it in an identity crisis. Visually, it had the look of a formal full-size sedan, boxy front end, stacked rectangular headlights, and big fender flares. Coupe models even had Thunderbird-inspired opera windows. But the real story was under the hood. Most LTD IIs came with a 302 cubic inch V8, which was fine but nothing special. The real gems were the optional 351 Windsor or modified V8s, or better yet, the 400 cubic inch V8. These engines had torque for days, and with a little tuning, they turned the LTD II into an unexpected street sleeper. Unfortunately, the timing was all wrong. GM had just downsized its full-size cars, making Ford's new mid-size model look massive. The 1979 Chrysler 300. The last car on our list is the 1979 Chrysler 300. It had power, style, and the legendary 300 badge, yet most people don't even know it existed. Why? Chrysler had stopped making the 300 after 1971. Then, out of nowhere, they brought it back in 1979, but instead of a brand-new muscle car, they turned the Cordoba into a performance package. At first glance, the Chrysler 300 looked like any other Cordoba, available only in white with red and blue stripes. But a closer look revealed a black egg crate grille with a bold 300 badge, gold-etched quarter window emblems, and aggressive fender louvers. Inside, it had a sporty red leather interior, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, machined aluminum dashboard trim, and a full set of performance gauges, including a tachometer. Under the hood was a 360 cubic inch V8 with a 4-barrel carburetor, producing 195 horse, more than the base Corvette that year. Paired with a Torque-Flight 3-speed automatic, it could move its 2-ton body with surprising speed. But here's the thing, nobody noticed. By 1979, muscle cars were dying, gas prices were rising, and performance wasn't a priority anymore. While the Dodge Lil Red Express truck, which had the same engine, got all the attention, the Chrysler 300 slipped into obscurity. With only 5,500 units built, most have either disappeared or sit forgotten in junkyards. These classic sleeper cars show that sometimes the quietest ride on the block is the one to watch out for. Which of these 1970s sleeper cars would you love to drive? Do you know any other hidden muscle car marvels from the 70s? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Muscle Car Masters for more incredible car content.